Mr. Raka, we promised to come back today to continue with our discussion about who is fit to manage Nigeria come 2023. So we have Mr. Obi, Atiku Abubakar, and Bola Tinubu. So it's a continuity of our last program. And Mr. Hansa is going to join us soon. He was here before, but I think because of the network problem, he logged out. Austin is also joining us soon. So first of all, let's look at Tinubu. Tinubu, like what people have become. Oh, Mr. Hansa is here. So people have been complaining about his mental health, even his physical appearance. It's looking so feeble. So, Mr. Raka, what do you think about Bola Tinubu?
Yeah, before we even start analyzing the candidates or the presidential aspirants for the 2023 election, we must first and foremost, let me apologize to those who watched the last episode, who concluded that we are being tribalistic in our approach to discussing the matter. However, I would try today not to throw that line of tribalism. I will try to be very objective and look at the issues from a realistic point, from an objective point, not having any bias. I think that will even pay me better because I'm a realist. Now, before we begin to actually analyze these three candidates, which we have assumed to be the top three contenders for the position, we must first establish the criteria with which we use to assess them. And one of the criteria should be physiological fitness. That's the physical fitness, mental fitness, and then general political intelligence. And then perhaps the actual, let me write it down. Give me pen. So that, give me pen. That's
You don't have to write it down. As you are saying it, the video is recording it.
Okay, because I don't have a, I don't see what is being written up on my end. So perhaps you can be writing the criteria down. So let us first establish the criteria under which we assess them. That's physiological fitness or physical fitness, and then a mental fitness, then general IQ, that's IQ, and then understanding of the Nigerian system, to understand understanding Nigeria's problem. So I think I will try to analyze these individuals realistically on these basic. I'll try to score these individuals on these criteria as physical fitness. Now, in the case of Tinubu, a lot of people have tried to play down on the physical fitness of Tinubu, trying to make everybody to ignore the obvious physical challenge that Tinubu has. And some even went as far as comparing his health with that of the United States president. That is not exactly true. That is not exactly true. Mr. Biden may be suffering from the challenges of age. Tinubu, on the other hand, is not an age issue. It's a physical ailment. It's a physical ailment that is affecting the nervous system. When you find somebody who is not properly articulating his physiological movement, clearly shows that there's a mental challenge or there's a cerebral challenge that is not coordinating well, to prevent him from even coordinating his arm to hold a flag up straight, being the flag bearer. A cerebral challenge that doesn't make him perform perfectly well enough to turn the pages of his script. So, health-wise, Tinubu is challenged. Let's not play about it. Now, those who will play or downplay it are those who just want to see Tinubu as a figure that brings power to their region or to their ethnic proclivity or inclination. Just as when we talked about Buhari's health challenges, the northerners or his handlers who believe that Buhari was the only brand name that can bring power to the north didn't care about his health challenges. And what did we have eventually when Buhari became president? We saw a man who has traveled out severally to go and attend to his health challenges at the time that the country needs supervision. And you can see there was a time Buhari traveled out and Osibanjo took charge, I think for 3 months. And in 3 months, everybody felt the drastic change of governance. And I think that was why they hurriedly repackaged Buhari to come back again, because so that the rest of us don't see the difference between a healthy governance and a sick governance. So Nigeria now is more complicated more than ever. We have security challenges, we have economic challenges, we have hate challenges, we have fault line along religion and tribal division, religious and tribal divisiveness. So the country is very, very divided. The country is more challenged than ever. Now more than ever, we need somebody who can bestow the total confidence that yes, this man has the mental stability and mental strength to run this country. Not this politics. Believe you me, anybody that is saying that we should ignore the physical health challenges of Tinubu is not being true to himself. It's not being true to himself. He's just trying to play around it. Perhaps there are other ulterior motives that that inform me to say so. Now, with the emergence of Tinubu, I can see that the general balance of our rationality is challenged. We don't have rationality in Nigeria again. Trust me. That divisiveness of religion and tribe is still playing, even after suffering under this Buhari's regime for 8 years. People still don't want to visit. The very reason why we had to, because I believe Nigeria is at a pause. Nigeria is a pause, and we have taken many steps backward. And still, Nigerians don't want to ask where the problem lies. So, as far as health challenge is concerned, Tinubu should leave that stage to leave Peter Obi and Buhari as far as health challenge is concerned.
Peter Obi
that for
and
me,
Buhari,
that knocks
and Atiku.
Yeah, Peter Obi and Atiku does not have any challenge with terms of physical challenge. Yeah, Atiku has aged naturally to his age. And then Tinubu again, we have still not sorted his age. We have somebody who is claiming 69. And somebody who claimed by 69 years old, extrapolating that age with the age of the daughter shows that he had his first daughter when he was 7. You and I know that in African context, there is no way a child of 7 will have there's no way a 7-year-old boy will bear children. Not even 10, not even 12. If it is 16, 17, 18, well, okay, we say it's understandable. So somebody who cannot even clarify his age, we don't even have a clear standing of how old he is. Some hypocrites will come and say it doesn't matter, age is just but a number. Honestly, Africans, when I see Africans talking about this country belongs to you and I, we are going to die and leave it for our children. What legacy of Nigeria are we bequeathing to our children? So I don't want to spend too much time talking about Tinubu's age. That will make meaningless the seriousness of the topic we have today. We are talking about Nigeria, and we should be fair to ourselves. We should take religion and tribalism out of this. We should take sentiments out of it and view this thing without bias. And that's what I'm trying to do. Believe me, God knows my heart. I am doing this thing from my heart. So health-wise, that leaves Atiku and Peter Obi. So mental capacity.
Okay.
Mental capacity to rule Nigeria, mental capacity. Now, I have listened to all the candidates speak. I've listened to Peter Obi speak. I've listened to Tinubu speak. I've listened to Atiku speak. Atiku has continuously mentioned on privatization. You want to privatize almost everything that is. You're going to privatize NNPC. You're going to privatize NEPA. Now, let's look at those things that have been privatized. NEPA. NEPA, that's a power holding, our power generating this thing. The private entities that are managing our power sector have seized opportunity to exploit individuals. I can tell you that we are paying for light that we don't use, and I'm sure it's the same thing everywhere. It shows that some people are not in tandem; they are not in grasp with the realism of Nigeria's problem. So when we talk about mental fitness, we are talking about the ability to collect variable data as it affects the challenges of Nigeria. So we are talking about that mental state of mind to even begin to appreciate the true nature of Nigeria's problem. We're not talking about solution first, so understanding the Nigeria's problem. What are the Nigeria problems? It's simple. Every person on the street knows the problems of Nigeria. Security, high rise of the cost of materials, cost of food products and services, and then corruption. We know these challenges, they are there. Now, which of these three candidates have the mental capacity to even absorb it and understand what the challenges truly are? Now, I've listened to what both of them have said. Peter Obi has given so many talk shows from which I've listened to. He said he is going to transform this country from a consumption country to a producing country. Such a line clearly shows that, yes, if you keep consuming, which means you keep buying. If you keep buying, it means you need what the other man has. You are the one needing. And when you need from somebody, that means you'll be chasing goods. When you chase goods, the person with the goods will determine what price you are going to buy it. And that is why you say the higher the demand, the higher the price. I read economics in school, accounting in school. I was very good in economics. So when you chase after goods, it means the initiative to want is, the propensity to want is from you. The person who has what you want will determine how you want it and tell the price you should get it. That is why our dollar, our naira is depreciating every day, because we are the one persistently needing. Now, compare a statement of somebody who said he's going to transform the country from a consuming country to a production country, and then compare that statement to somebody who said he's going to create consumption and demand. It is out there. I didn't make it out. Consumption and demand. Now, by the way, consumption and demand are the same thing. When you demand, you consume. There is a need for consumption. That is why you demand. So when you create consumption, of course, there's going to be demand where there's consumption. Now, it clearly shows that the person does not even know the terms of what he is using. You don't even know the terms of what he's using. Now, this is somebody who said he's going to employ 50 million Nigerian youths into the Nigerian army. 50 million Nigerian youths from a population of 200 million. That means you are putting 1/4 of Nigerian youths into security. 1/4 of Nigerian youth. That means there will be not enough. That's 50 million youths out of population of the youth in Nigeria. That will make the fact that our Nigerian populace is left with old age and middle age people that will be running the country. The strength of our the strength the youth that ordinarily should drive the Nigerian economy is now stagnated in security. Security is not only our challenges, we have economic challenges as well. And for a man who believes that the way you are going to feed these 50 million youth is through agbado, that's agbado is corn, and cassava in the morning, and then yam in the afternoon. It just shows that these people are thinking that the challenges before us is a child's play, and therefore you can actually come out and just say things that you didn't think about it. So mental fitness alone, by virtue of what I've heard this, meanwhile they are my opinions. Mental fitness alone, by virtue of what they have been saying, clearly shows that Tinubu also falls out from mental fitness, and that leaves Peter Obi and Atiku. Well, I believe Atiku also knows the challenges before Nigeria, and I know they know this. I know Peter Obi and Peter Obi, they understand the challenges before Nigeria. Look, there's a reason why Atiku chose Peter Obi as a running mate, because he knows the man has got stuff. He knows the man has a potential. That is why he chose him. So, in terms of mental fitness, mental alertness, I will still pick Peter Obi and Atiku as running ahead of Tinubu. So that leaves with IQ. Now, somebody will think mental fitness and IQ are the same thing. No, mental fitness is the ability to keep appraisal with variables resulting from the challenges of this country. So that is mental fitness. So IQ, that is intelligence quotient, is the ability now to profile solution to the challenges you have observed. And this is where Nigerians must be very, very circumspect in choosing who to rule you, who has the mental capacity to absorb and understand what is really wrong with Nigeria, and who has the intelligence to profile solution to these challenges as observed. Now, what are the solutions? The solutions to Nigeria are simple. First, you have to stem this tide of insecurity. And I tell you that the people in charge of Nigeria today know who are in charge, who are the perpetrators of this insecurity in Nigeria. They know it. They know it. But because certain people are using the insecurity in the north as a bargaining chip, you know that when Yaradua came in, Yaradua instituted the Niger Data Development Commission, where the South was used to get money, the amnesty. There's a certain amount for the budget that is given to the youths in the South in the name of amnesty. I can tell you that a section of the country does not like the fact that the budget, some youths in a certain section of the country are getting this money for nothing. So they too needed to have a reason to also get their own Northern Nigerian development, Northern Nigerian amnesty, whatever. So you can see that the insecurity in the north is deliberate, so as to get whatever the Niger Delta youths are getting. Perhaps that is also what is also bringing the unrest in the southeast. I don't know, but they say they wanted Biafra. The ones here say they want Sharia. So, but the bottom line is this: how do we stem insecurity in Nigeria? Which of these three candidates have profiled solution on how to stem insecurity? Tinubu said he's going to employ 15 million Nigerian youths while feeding them with masara and agbado and cassava and yams. Of course, feeding 50 million Nigerian youths with corn and cassava and this thing will not solve the security challenge. That will not solve anything. The reason why, if you want to kill a snake, you cut off the head. Attacking this, now this insecurity in Nigeria has two hydra-headed head. There is a psychological challenge, and then there is the deliberate challenge. The psychological challenge, and most of these people are illiterate. They are operating on what is told to them in the mosque or by people who claim to be sensible. Those in the southeast are operating based on the ideology that Nnamdi Kanu or IPOB sold in them, and those in the northeast are operating on the ideology of what Sharia and the proponent of Sharia sold to them. So psychologically, you can stem the evil wave of tide by stemming the head. If you can get Nnamdi Kanu to change his ideology, that is, if at all they will release Nnamdi Kanu. If you can tell him to change his ideology and start telling people that, look, participate in this politics. You can see today, for the last 3 weeks, for the first time in the history of Nigeria, Igbos have now taken election very seriously. People are now going to get PVC. Do you know that since people started going to PVC, the sit-at-home nonsense in the Southeast have stopped? Have you known? Have you noticed?
Yes.
Have you noticed that people are now channeling their energy to go and get PVC instead of beheading people? So it is because people don't have what to do. That is why they say the idle mind is the devil's workshop. A lot of our youths are idle. That is why people who claim to have intelligence are now sowing trash, are now sowing retrogressive ideologies into these people to now turn them into menaces in our society. I believe those youths in the north that are killing people, kidnapping, are a product of a failed society. Psychologically, they want to have money, and they believe that the only way they can have money is kidnapping. When they see others go to succeed, I've seen a man on TV, on social media, who claimed that he takes an empty bus to the park, loads it, and takes them to a kidnapper, about 15 people, all for 30,000 naira. Can you imagine the life of a full loaded bus being wasted because of 30,000 naira? What is 30,000 naira? 30,000 naira cannot even take care of my outing.
Oh,
so that is what is happening in Nigeria. So and you can create job. If 30,000 naira is really what is going to make somebody to go and kidnap people, to hand over to kidnappers, 30,000 naira, then you need to create jobs. You need to create jobs for all these aspirants. Are they give an idea? When I can't steal my idea and I can't go take and do campaign. You get me? So you need to you need to create jobs so that
people are more knowledgeable than some of the aspirants and candidates, whatever. You are more even well grounded.
Yeah, so you need to create jobs so that people will not have the need to think that to kidnap one life because of 30,000 naira. Because if I have an easier, legitimate means to get 30,000 naira, I will not be forced to go and kidnap people to hand over them for 30,000 naira. So that is the so you need to attack where this ideology is coming from, not attacking them and killing them. They don't know what they are doing. You need to attack the source of the ideology that is driving them. And the source of the ideology that is driving them are the pastors, the imams, and the so-called activists. These are the sources of this ideology. What is driving Boko Haram is ideology. What is driving IPOB is ideology. And what is driving everybody to, I also have an ideology. I have an ideology that Nigeria should be good. And whatever actions I'm taking today is because I want this ideology to be better for Nigeria. Now, there are those who don't care about whether Nigeria is good or not. They are concerned about their immediate needs. And that's why you see they are killing and they are beheading. How do you behead somebody just because he wore the Nigerian army uniform and say you raped woman? My brother, it's not Biafra you are fighting for. You are hungry for sex. That's why you raped that woman. It has nothing to do with Biafra. So you rape a woman, you behead the woman, you behead the husband, you are killing, you are bombing churches, you are blowing yourself up. These are products of retrogressive ideologies. So whoever is coming in must find a way to attack the ideology that drives this nefarious act. So if you are talking,
you just highlighted now, Mr. Oraka, in most cases, the Nigerian government focuses on budgeting money for defense spending. Why the root cause of a high rate of criminality in Nigeria is not being addressed.
The Nigerian government is just being hypocritical in its approach to stemming security. Now you are arresting Nnamdi Kanu because he is selling ideologies of hate. There are so many imams I've been seeing on social media bold-facedly spewing hatred, preaching hatred, supporting hatred, and giving ideologies of hatred of other religions. Such people should be arrested and be taught a lesson. But these people will not do so because the people in power share the same ideology with these people. Now, this is a country whereby a young girl was killed on account of blasphemy. I don't know whether blasphemy is right or wrong. Let's even assume he actually did it. Now, a country's law cannot be handed to a mob. A country's legal system or judicial system or punishment system should not and cannot and must not be handed over to hoodlums or mobs. Because all I need to do tomorrow, if I see you in a market, I say, Nebe said Muhammad is crazy, and they say you blaspheme. Nobody gave you a right to defend yourself. No law court. They said somebody is guilty until proven by a competent legal jurisdiction. Now this legal jurisdiction might be the customary law, might be the Sharia law. Now you didn't give the lady a claim. Who were the accusers? Who were the accusers? And was she really guilty? Was she given a chance to defend herself? You don't just allow people to just say somebody is guilty of something, and the same people who accuse you are the ones now who judges you. That's why in Nigeria, the police accuse you of a crime, and then the court, the police, who is an arm of the executive, accuse you of a crime, and then the court determines whether you are actually guilty of that crime you are accused of or not. That is how a system works. Now we have a people who have completely destroyed the system. They've destroyed the judiciary. They've destroyed the judiciary, executive, and the Senate. The Senate will not. The Senate is compromised by the executive. The executive will not respect the law. The judiciary is biased. Just nothing is working. I expected that.
Today's analysis, I don't know where you get it from.
So now I expect that a country where somebody is at the door. I expect that a country where a lady was killed extrajudiciously. I expected the Nigerian Bar Association to take it up seriously, because their function has been taken over by mobs. By being silent is being complicit to the act of the mob. And I heard immediately after that blasphemous killing in Sokoto, another man was also killed in Abuja and burnt alive. Look, we cannot be living like barbarians. Anyway, we cannot be living like barbarians. So who do you think, in all honesty, has the intelligence? I think I should add one again: preparedness to rule. Who do you think has the IQ to really want to solve this thing? I can tell you in all sincerity that Tinubu will not give you, because Tinubu will not give you. Already in APC, they're already trying to sell the idea of a Muslim ticket to you, so that when eventually they bring a Muslim ticket, we will say, no problem. But unfortunately, such an ideology will not sell now. Not now that Nigeria is divided along the polarities of tribe and religion. Nobody will accept it that Tinubu is a Muslim, then you bring on that Muslim to run him, and then me, I will go and vote. I won't vote. You don't sell that crap to me now. It's not going to fly. No church will support that thing now.
Mr. Raka will jump in there. Muslim or non-Muslim, someone who is capable. That is what we are talking about.
No, I am telling you what is happening in APC. They are proposing the idea of a Muslim ticket. I am saying so because I know that the North will never and can never accept a Christian ticket. It won't. In fact, there will be riot. You get me? So I'm saying this thing because of the experience I have living in the North. So let's not dwell on that, so that this point does not take away from the valid points I have been taking. So who among these two candidates have the intelligence to actually tackle this problem after having the mental capacity? Tinubu still falls out. None of these three candidates have told us how they will tackle insecurity. And that includes Peter Obi. None of them. Because everybody is careful. But if I must pick one person who should fall out in this IQ to tackle intelligence, I will pick Atiku. Atiku will fall out. And why did I say so? Immediately they kill, what's that lady's name they kill in Sokoto again? Deborah, yeah. Immediately they killed Deborah. Atiku issued a statement condemning, and Nigerians should listen to this point very, very well. Atiku Today I said I'm going to be unbiased, and I'm trying my best not to be biased. Immediately they killed Deborah in Sokoto. Atiku issued a statement condemning it, which was a laudable idea. It shows that, well, what is bad, and you were bold enough to condemn it. But then the North, seeing that there was no problem in the act done to Deborah on the account of blasphemy, which was not proven. We didn't hear our own side. We didn't hear the whole story. All we heard was snippets from WhatsApp, radio, and here and there things. And he was killed. So the North were in support. Atiku, sensing that the North was displeased with his comment on Twitter, immediately ordered that the tweet should be taken down. It shows that Atiku said he didn't give the Twitter, but now that the Twitter is there, is the Twitter bad or good? So for you to say it should be taken down after it's been tweeted, whether it was ordered by you or not, the question is the Twitter okay? Now that you've noticed it's done, it's there. Is the Twitter okay? You rather than follow your conscience of what is right and wrong, you follow the pressure from the North. It shows that tomorrow, if you are in power, because the Deborah's case is a security challenge, it shows that tomorrow, if you are in power and there is a security question, the voice and shouts of the North will determine your action to that security challenge.
Exactly.
So based on that security alone, Atiku, by that singular action of pulling down that tweet, I don't think Atiku has the capacity to stem that security tide away. So Atiku falls out here. Atiku falls out here. Now, Peter Obi has not spoken on terms of insecurity, and Tinubu too has not spoken on how he's going to stem security. But I feel at the bottom of my mind that, well, I cannot say anything, because attempting now to speak for Obi and Tinubu, now I'll be biased, and I promise not to be biased. So I will just leave it at there. But if for wanting to find somebody who falls out of who falls out of this, I think Atiku falls out of this. The fourth one, I was writing it very fast. Even me can't understand my handwriting. Understanding the Nigerian problem. Which of these three people actually understand? I am saying I don't even know who is scoring high. I don't even know who scores high, because Tinubu has fallen out from two criteria. Then Atiku has fallen out from one criteria. Then some people have gotten dropped. So understanding the Nigerian problem. See, it's very important now that we know exactly what is the Nigerian problem.
The Nigerian problem. Your camera is not clear. It's black and white. Dark. We can't see you at all.
You are breaking my flow. You are breaking my flow, because I'm in the spirit. I'm in the spirit. Reka Sandarabo Yeke Sinda Baba. Rema Sandabarobu. I'm in the spirit.
Sorry.
No, not that one. I'm just joking. You know, I like to joke at times, because not be do or die. Now, in terms of which of these three candidates understand the problem of Nigeria, which of them really, because we have to choose who understands the problem and who is ready to solve it. You understand me? Let me tell you, Tinubu and Atiku. Well, you see, Atiku understands the Nigerian problem, but it's the ability for the North to control his decision based on the deleted tweet also puts him out in my own understanding. Now, Tinubu, on his account of recruiting 50 million, you do know what is 50? Even China don't have 50 million personnel in their army. 50 million. I'm sure going to take away from those who go to farm, those who go to banks, those who will go to. There are so many sectors that need the vibrancy and strength of our youth. You pack everybody and put them in Nigerian military. That means everywhere you go will be uniform. It makes no sense. It shows that you don't even understand the Nigerian problem. So on this account again, I think Atiku and Tinubu falls out, which leaves Peter Obi. I think Peter Obi, there are so many seminars that are out there. He understands the problem of Nigeria very, very well. My only challenge with Peter Obi is that his Igbo supporters should not take this Peter Obi's preference and begin to add these tribal proclivities. What I mean tribal proclivity, I am talking about this Biafra quest. They should leave
Yes.
Biafra quest completely out of this. Peter Obi's preference by Nigeria has nothing to do with Biafra, has nothing to do with his turn of the Igbos. If you are going to sell, it is the turn of the Igbos. On this Peter Obi's quest, he will lose as fast as he gets this popularity. So finally, how prepared? I think all of them are prepared. All of them are prepared. It's just that the method with which all of them are using to be prepared, that's where I don't like. Tinubu is well prepared to the point that he can spend billions of naira, monies that we have not explained to us how you get this money. You get me? You brought what's that company you brought to Lagos? You are spending more than Dangote can spend. You are spending more than what Dangote can spend. And Dangote is one of the richest people in the world. You're spending dollars. These are people who blatantly came out and are doling out dollars to the public, and we are seeing it. And yet, they are paying you to recycle them to steal some more. And we are ready to recycle them again to give them the opportunity to steal some more. Compare that to somebody who said, I'm not saying I support the idea of not spending money, but given the forum that our society, the Nigerian society, has degenerated to the point that we can actually create a public forum that is viewed by camera, that is viewed by the whole world, that people can actually come and pay dollars to people who need it badly, because the delegates are people who can't write their names. They are poor-stricken people, picked from the villages, who can sell their soul for half that amount, and you give them that money, and then you use money to buy yourself to power. That's the type of preparedness that they've showed. Peter Obi, on the other hand, saw an environment that requires that you just have to dole out the type of money that needs to be doled out. And he said he can't be part of that system, and he left. I was very angry with him. In fact, I have a post on my wall who condemned him leaving PDP. But seeing what transpired in the primaries of both PDP and APC, I think it was good enough to allow. So I think to a large extent, so now I think it's good enough he left, because for the first time, the youth in Nigeria, those 50 million youth that Tinubu wants to pack and lump into the army and feed with agbado and cassava, they now have hope that somebody who understands what the youth needs is not to be recruited in the army. We just want an environment whereby people have equal opportunities.
There was not any estimation before he came on.
National. I don't want to be a part of Nigeria whereby the only time I have reference is when I'm from the Fulani tribe or when I'm a Muslim. Or Nigeria should work on the basis of merit. Anybody who has merit should be the one. I am a graduate. I'm so broke. I am a graduate, well schooled, well articulate, well exposed, but I am so broke. I can't begin to expose my financial challenges in public, but I'm so broke. Now, if a country is working, do you honestly think that somebody who's as articulate as I am should be having time always to be coming on broadcast and be talking about Nigerian problems? So I leave my
time because you want the betterment.
I will create the time, not when they call me, I'm always available because I did jobless. So anyway, that's on the jocular side. That's on the jocular.
Mr. Raga, so thank you so much for the analysis. We have Austin with us today. Austin, the question for today is, who do you think is capable to manage Nigeria come 2023? And we have 3 candidates who are the 3 leading candidates right now. Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, and Bola Tinubu. So, out of 3 of them, can you rate them and tell us who you think is fit to manage Nigeria with the situation of the country right now?
First, I'll say big thank, good evening, everyone, and thank you for having me on the program. First, our challenge over the years as Nigerians has been that we don't think. If we are people that think very well, and we remember the record of these 3 persons, then you know that it's only one person that we all should be talking about by now, especially with the situation of the country. First, let me ask these questions. Is it possible to solve a problem with the same problem? The very big answer is no. Two of the people running for this position that are here now, that are part of the two leading political parties in Nigeria, the APC and the PDP, they were the front runners and they are the main architect of this mess that Nigeria we are into today in the country. Then you now expect these same people to now also solve the same problem that they created. It's not done. And especially, let's ask ourselves again. These are persons who, for the past 10 years in their life, tell me of any program anywhere in the world or in Nigeria where it has to do with business or economy, where they invited them to even come and even give a speech or anything. Nowhere. These people have not been educating themselves for the past how many years in their life, as far as I know. You want us to also make the same mistake we made with Buhari, where Buhari, that has been fighting to become president of Nigeria since 1999. Throughout all those times, he was not invited anywhere for any lecture. He didn't go to anything. Same thing with Atiku now. Same thing with Tinubu. And these are persons who are too old. With the way Nigeria right now is so fragile, because we have never been this divided in the history of Nigeria. And apart from also being the divided, people are scared of their lives. A lot of people do not even know what will happen to them the next morning as they are even going to bed. People go to church this day, go to mosque. They don't even know what will happen in the next 5 or 10 minutes. And yet we are debating about the persons that are part of the problem. Then we can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. It's impossible. If you look, apart from being a youth, until we as a people come together and don't just only campaign, we begin to talk of a political movement. There's a movement going on in Nigeria where you see people moving for Peter Obi. As Mr. Uraka was saying before, the impression a lot of people are trying to make that Peter Obi is a candidate of the Southeast is what I don't really like. I'm not an Igbo. I'm from the South side. Obi, now as we speak, even if he say he does not want to run for this office of the presidency again, a lot of Nigerian youth will turn on him. Because people now, he didn't give anybody money. He hasn't even come out to say, like, people are doing this because Nigerians are tired. We are frustrated about the situation of Nigeria. That's why you are seeing for the very first time, you are seeing even people doing programs to educate the people about getting their PVC. People running everywhere, telling people to get their PVC, saying I'm obedient, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. Not that this man has given them money. We need to change the narrative. People who are still talking about PDP and APC, first, apart from even the candidates, the political structure in Nigeria with the APC and PDP, they can't solve our problem. Because the way they play money politics, the amount of money they spend during people only talk of the money they spent during the primaries. But let me tell you, as somebody who has been a party person for a very long time, the money they spend, first of all, to see the political leaders before they even think about nomination, before they were able to spend those money for delegates. Do you know some amount of money? You saw Wike going to different states and donating money, even when he's owing workers in his states. So areas, owing them months of salaries that he hasn't paid. You see Yahya Bello, who has not paid salary for over 3 years, going to different states and donating money, trying to create an impression. They do that. That's the one they do openly, not the one they do secretly to some of these traditional rulers and some of these things. So the amount of money they've spent at the end of the day, he has even run into over many billions of dollars that when they now get to office, I've said it before in this program, that some of them go to bank to even take loans. That's why when they now get into office, they've created so much debt, borrowed so much, that the first thing they think of to do is to settle and do what that. Because they did not really, it's not me and you that folded them either. They've already bought a lot of the party men and all that. So they are no longer serving our interest. They are not serving the interest of people they bought this position from. So if we are Nigerians who must want to really make a point that we really want this to change for us, We need to change the narrative and let this APC and PDP know that the country belongs to us, that the power of the people is more than this power that these people are fighting for. So until we make that stand and break this gene of APC and PDP, we might continue in the same line that we may be continuing before. Which political party will say they really want to work for Nigeria, and you are telling them to get their form for 100 million naira, when the president's all allowances, salary, and everything for the 4 years in office is just about 52 million naira, and to acquire just by the presidential form for APC, it was 50 million naira. What the message are they sending to us? They just send a message to us that they want to sell that position to anybody to come and loot. It's not done anywhere. Even if you are telling them to come and buy presidential form for 20 million naira, it's even too big, because their salary is not more than their salary or their allowances put together for 4 years is no more than 54 million naira. That is if they don't eat and they don't close, they don't buy shoes, they don't do anything. That's when you can amount to 54 million naira. If you are going to eat, do some things for yourself, and you work, I work, you know that it's impossible that for a whole month you not spend money for yourself out of your salary. It's impossible. So for them to be able to do this, even in broad daylight, where some of them were paying up to about 30-something thousand for per delegate, 30-something thousand, not naira, in dollars.
$75,000
in dollars,
in dollars.
Not even in that. If you put that $75,000, that is close to about 40-something to 50 million naira per delegate. That's not the money you pay to. If they are spending that just by only delegates, the delegates are not the main carcass in the political party. How much do you think the party chairman and their ESCO will take home? That's not the money they spend in hotel. That's not the money they spend for feeding. That's just only the money they give to each delegate. First of all, it's even a crime. It's even against the law in a country where you use naira for you to be carrying dollars about as a politician, a public office holder, spending dollar. That is even a crime. Number one, that's to tell you that these people do not have regard for our economy. They don't have regard for the country at all. And those are persons who also want to vote into power. People that have no regard for even our currency. People that have no regard for me and you. That's an abuse. And yes, because because we're in a lawless society where they can't arrest any of them, they can't tell any of them anything. That's why they keep doing these things that they are doing, because they keep getting away with it, because nothing is happening to them. And let's even check the track record of these persons. How did Obi Bola Tinubu made this money? How did Atiku Abubakar made this money? Then how did Peter Obi made this money? Peter Obi is the only politician today in Nigeria that can tell you this is what he did. Go and verify. He has said it several. Let the EFCC
always go and verify everything. Go and verify.
Those are the kind of people we need. Can Atiku Abubakar? You remember what Obasanjo said about Atiku Abubakar about the money he stole as a vice? Imagine what he did as a vice president. Remember, you go and look at Obasanjo. Obasanjo always say it every time. Imagine if you not leave that kind of person to become the president. If he was able to steal so much as a vice president, imagine what he would do when everything is in his table. Then also will not go to.
I'm not trying to, interrupt you, Austin. Atiku Abubakar has how many wives? How can you focus on Nigerians' problem when you have so many wives? Only you satisfy all those wives.
I will strongly suggest with his personal life. Let's leave it out of it. That's his personal life. Honestly.
If we are saying we want to even live a personal life aside of it, first of all, Nigeria.
Those are his personal preferences anyway.
We are dealing with matter of one of our major challenge. One of our major challenge has been indiscipline. And waste.
Okay. On that aspect, okay. Yeah.
One of our major challenge. If the number one citizen of a country cannot be totally disciplined and also be able to curb this waste, how do you expect such a person to be able to? Are we not scared of even committing the wealth of a nation into the hand of that kind of a person? This is sometimes I imagine how we as a people think as Nigerians. I can begin to imagine. First, he has multiple. That's to tell you that this man has no knowledge about what commitment is all about. Has no knowledge about what discipline is all about. And that's why you see them, they feel that they can't be accountable to the people. Because first of all, they are not even accountable to in their home, accountable to it. There's no accountability within their family. How do you not think such a person will now come to be accountable to over 200 million people? First, let me say this. I'm not trying to make it a tribal thing. It's even an insult to me as a Southerner. After the North just ruled for 8 years of Buhari, they are telling me to sit and allow them to bring in a Fulani man that is just going to finish 8 years with all the harm that they are doing in Nigeria currently. For me to also trust another one of them that brought this one to power, to trust it again with my life's property and family. It's not done. Let us think as a people. Let's think. Or you now expect me to think. Person like, I'm not trying to make it a religious thing. Ahmed Tinubu is a Muslim. Another Muslim is just finishing.
Let me sorry. I will allow you to. I will allow you to talk. Excuse me. Let me just add something. There's something to this point you have just said. Now let me add something. It's not even about allowing a Fulani man to take over another Fulani man. I'm thinking about the type of psychology it will impress on a Fulani man. After ruling Nigeria for 8 years, then they are ruling again for another 8 years. 16 years in a stretch. As a Fulani man, as an Edo man, let's say one Edo man hands back to another Edo man, what would it will create this impression that yes, you truly own this country. And that is what we should be stopping. That is what we should break.
Yeah, because Mr. Sani came to this program the other day, say, you minorities, what are you saying?
Yeah, he said it. His first, when he came in, his first introduction was that we are minorities. Including the head is a Yoruba man, a man whose population is not as much as the Yoruba, who is calling Yoruba and Robos minorities.
Minorities, yeah. But according to Nigeria, if you look at the statistics in Nigeria, if you remove the Fulanis away from the Hausas in the north, you find out that the Yorubas are the majority in Nigeria. Check it.
Yes, of course. Even with the Fulanis and the Hausas, look, let me tell you, there's one erroneous impression a lot of you are making in the south. You think that north is occupied by Hausa and Fulanis alone. That's not true.
No.
Just because they all speak Hausa does not make all of them Hausa. I say in Kano, they have about 6 to 7 or 10 other tribes, indigenous tribes. In Maiduguri, they have about 20 different tribes. Pure Christian tribes in Maiduguri, in Yobe too. It's just that these people are the ones, they just go to the heart and take over power. So because they are the ones in power, they are the ones you see every day. They are the ones taking
charge. They are the majority in the north. They are the majority in the north.
Who?
No, I just want. No, I'm not saying they are not the majority in the north. I'm not saying they are not the majority. I'm just saying that you should have it at the back of your mind that there are other tribes in the north. They are not the only ones in the north.
First of all, let's make something clear. If we really talk about Nigeria the way it is today, the north as an entity, the Fulanis are not the majority. They know. One thing that they've sold to Nigeria over the years, and one thing that's why a lot of them are kind of scared about the movement currently going on in Nigeria. You see, we as people, a lot of tribes have just totally kept quiet over the years, folded their hand, especially among the Christian tribes. We just thought politics not be our thing. More just rest. If you see for the very first time in the history of Nigeria, pastors are now making it a mandatory thing for you to have your PVC. You must vote because it's something that has affected their lives. If a lot of Hausas are there, how do they call these people again? Just they are not Fulani. They are there. A lot of them are there. First of all, let us also go by history. Fulanis are not part of Nigeria. They only migrated to Nigeria. They go to a place, they try to take over the everything about the country. That's one thing
and install an emir there.
This mentality, this man, where you said the man brought to the program, that's their mentality. They feel that they are the one that should own whatever. Have you not seen them when they talk no, some of them, not only the politicians, they feel that whatever that has to do with the leadership of the country is their birthright. That's why I'm really angry.
That's why I don't want
PDP
Atiku to be
for
president. That's
bringing
why I
out
don't want that.
Atiku.
For that reason alone, I don't want Atiku to be president.
That you see,
you know, with this
a lot of things are working, a lot of things are going on in Nigeria. If you really say let us change, if you really want to, if we as a people really want to prove something to these politicians, just like the way the movement is going on for Labour Party, let it just go like that. If I tell you the fear in their mind now, I have a lot of friends in the two political parties, sir. They never believe that the youth of Nigeria can do what they are doing now presently, where they've taken upon themselves that we must get peace, we must vote, we are tired of
Nobody's asking
this
for money. Nobody's asking for money.
Some are even spending their money to
Yeah,
make sure
some
people
people
get their
spend their money.
PVC
Yes,
to
yes.
vote. This is the political revolution we have been talking about, because it's annoying for PDP and
It's
APC
really a
to
political
think they
revolution.
can
You are very right.
to think that they can produce two evil, two thieves before us.
They're asking us to
Then for
choose
us to
between two
choose
thieves.
one.
Abba,
It's
my
annoying,
bro,
and
thinker.
these thieves are not
Abba.
just only thieves; they are evil. We need, this thing needs to stop. Every time they present two thieves, they present two evil. They tell you, those Nigerians, choose one. We begin to kill ourselves. APC, PDP, APC, PDP. Now we have an option, and the option is somebody that we can be able to hold accountable. He has done it before. He's somebody that can tell. And why I'm begging a lot of Nigerians to come out massively for this. First, Obi is not only fighting either to be the president of Nigeria. One thing,
He said he's not desperate.
if he becomes the president, sir, it's more to our benefit than to even his own benefit. Why? A lot of this excessive waste and this indiscipline going on in the political stage in Nigeria will totally go down. And this spending money to get to power will go down. And this borrowing will reduce. There will not be value for lives and property. For the past 7 years in Nigeria, there is no value for human life. That's even my pain. Apart from the hunger, the hunger, the hardship in the land. You can see that people can go out. They don't even know what will happen to them. Where people can go and be kidnapped in church, where people can be killed in church. That's the height of it.
Austin, like what we said earlier at the beginning, that what Mr. Oraka said, that in order to reduce crime rate in the country, you have to boost the economy. The more richer a country becomes, the lesser the crime rate. So if you don't boost the economy, then you continue to see high level of crimes in the country. And in Nigeria, over these years, how many foreign investors have come to Nigeria to invest in the country? It's a question. This current administration, I've never seen anywhere whereby you see Buhari talking about bringing foreign investors to the country. So it's not their prime request for the development of Nigeria. So therefore, we continue to see high level of crime rate in the country because employment is not there. Things are getting so expensive these days. Even the COVID period even intensified everything, that things are getting too expensive. Employment is not there. What do you expect? People will go out there to commit crime. So in Nigeria, we don't focus on the economy at all. Instead, we are investing more on security spending. So when you continue to pump money on security spending while you are not providing employment for the masses, what do you expect? Which means we're going to be generating money from our oil, then using it for security spending while the economy is going down. So Nigeria will have problem until the person who is capable, somebody like Peter Obi, who is conscious of the economy, can manage Nigeria. Otherwise, this current administration is like, if they allow Atiku to become the president of Nigeria, I guarantee you it's going to be a continuity of what we are experiencing right now in Nigeria. So,
the truth of the matter, this thing is not, apart from just only tribe, Umaru used Musa Yayaradua, the president of Nigeria, a Fulani man, for just a short time. We also saw the impact of Yaradua as a president in Nigeria. The reason why you are seeing the increase in this insecurity in Nigeria is because the government is part of it. I think late General Sani Abacha said one thing. He said, whenever you see insurgency, if it lasts more than a day, in any way, you know that the government is part of it. Have you ever asked yourself, when the federal government budget over many billions of dollars every time for this, for security, security, that, security, security, that, what is the use of that money? You understand? You budget this money, and yet something will happen, and yet nobody's being sacked. Nobody, even when they arrest some people, you rehabilitate them. You see the insincerity of this government. We are saying we are fighting insurgency, security, or whatever, but you arrest terrorists. You say you spend money. People graduate from school, they have no jobs, no employment, no nothing, nothing. But rather the government will rehabilitate terrorists who didn't go to school and now give them jobs. Then you see that the government is totally part of the whole problem. The government negotiates with kidnappers and give them money. You saw Gumi going about saying he's meeting the government is listening to this and that. He can be the spokesman of people kidnapping going around in Nigeria. But he can't be the spokesperson for ASU, who has been on strike for over how many months. You see the insincerity of government. Government can carry money and give to these people to rehabilitate them, to give them money for whatever thing. But government can carry money to build industries where graduates can work. Then you begin to see what we are talking about. If we really want to fight this matter of insecurity in Nigeria, apart from creating jobs and all that and all that and all that, see, the reason why people do things they do, crime and all that, because we don't have a law to hold them accountable. And because when the government, the politicians, they are part of it, so it's very easy for these things to happen. There is unemployment everywhere in the world. But the reason why you and I can't do it today is because where you are, you know, if you are found wanting, you are going to go to jail and you are going to lose everything. You will be all over the media. But in Nigeria, you saw the Accountant General that they said that he stole over many billion. He went to court. But today, when he got to where the granted him bail, you saw Nigerians go went there, started hugging him, celebrating him. You understand? In Nigeria, we not just only the politicians, we are also part of the problem. We as Nigerians, we are part of the problem. The way we celebrate these politicians, I don't want to call them leaders because a lot of they don't know what leadership is all about. The way we celebrate these politicians, give them position, hug them, is really, really funny. You understand? It's funny. We are the only people. Africa, let me say, Nigeria is one of the only few places in the world where we reward thieves with political positions. Whereas in a sane society, those people they are supposed to be in the prison, rusting away, where the government sees all their assets, all the asset is stole from the state. But no, in us, they can steal over 10 billion naira. When they go to court, they begin to form that they are sick. Before you know what is happening, they get away with it. This is the problem. This is why you see the issue in Nigeria. So in Nigeria to today, we don't reward truth. We don't reward integrity. We don't reward transparency. That's why you see our politicians, they go about doing whatever thing that they are doing. And they do it. Nobody, nothing happened to them. You understand? A society that doesn't reward people that live right, we always have more people that live wrongly. It's just normal. It's normal. A
Exactly.
society that doesn't reward
But
people who that always want to do things rightly, we always have more people going the wrong way. So that's why when I see today, people see clapping after Atiku Peter Obi. It's not a matter of tribe or religion. It's a matter of integrity. We that our togetherness as a nation is at stake.
Austin, Austin, I'm sorry. Mr. Hansa is attacking me here, and he left a comment for me, saying that I'm compromising my program, that I'm supporting certain group against certain group. So what have I done?
How?
Mr. Raka, you can hear me. Mr. Raka, can
You
you
see,
hear me?
me, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Also, you don't know Mr. Hansa because we have been dealing with this tribalism on this program over this.
Which is in the program. I would have loved to talk to
I
him.
told
No,
him
I know
to join.
he deliberately left because he saw me. I know he. Now me be
No.
medicine. Anyway, so
think
you asked me a question.
I think
Only
his
today.
network is not stable. That is why he left.
No problem. But only today, he sent me a video where a pastor was urging his members to go and get PVC. And he captioned that video saying, "What type of frustration is this?" So I wonder why Mr. Hamza will see a pastor telling his members to go and get PVC. He didn't tell them to go and vote for this person or don't vote for this person. No. Just go and get PVC, a fundamental civic right entitled by every single Nigerian. And he referred to such an act as frustration on the part of the pastor. You see, it's annoying when you see people who have attained the age of 50 not being able to fashion themselves in an objective manner. Clearly, Mr. Hamza will be the first to attack you that you are being tribalistic. Whereas everything about his aura, everything about his comment clearly suggests that he is not only tribalistic, he's a religious jingoist. And these two monsters are the things that are destroying Nigerians. We have gotten independence for over how many years now? Close to 62 years. Yet, we have not fashioned a way whereby people can relate beyond these tribal proclivities. I schooled in the University of Maiduguri. Believe you me, as a Southerner schooling in the University of Maiduguri, I looked like a foreigner. The people there will never see you as one. There's this, even from the stare alone, you see that you are hated. Even in class, you are treated as if you are. The only time we hugged each other as brothers was during this Daman miracle, where when we came back from 4-0 down to win, and we started hugging each other. That's the only time we saw. But every other time, you are not a Nigerian. So we have not done enough to unify North and South. And it appears we will not unify that for a very long time. They call Atiku the unifier. If truly Atiku is a unifier, when you know that your brother, a Fulani man, has ruled 8 years, a sensible man who actually believes in fairness and equity will say, okay, let me sponsor one of these Southerners, since it should ordinarily be their turn. Let me support Peter Obi or support Wike, and put your weight behind him. River State has supported many presidential candidates. Amechi took River State money to support Buhari. How many times? So now is the time for not to pay us, but they don't spend their money on South. It is the South that always spend their money for this thing. So Mr. Hamza should not say, like today for the first time, I swore to myself that I will try to be objective. And I think to a large extent, I was objective. I don't know. I'm not perfect. But to a large extent, I try to be perfect. You know, Mr. Nekme, last time I forgot to say, last time we said if we come back today, we are going to discuss the chances. It was the chances of this.
Hello,
that was what we forgot about it. Hello, can you hear me? It was the chances. We said we are going to discuss the chances of these three candidates to emerge as president. That was what we said we are going to discuss.
Yes. Mr. Hansa is here, and let's
hear from. Welcome. I've seen.
Yes, I've been hearing a lot of unsincere and incorrect information being given out there.
Okay, go ahead. You explain to us.
The new man. Let me tell him now. If you don't know history, did you know which time Fulani are in Nigeria? You know, the year Eswanahujo was there, was there anything like Nigeria? Was there anything like Nigeria when the Kano started ruling, the people started ruling Kano? Was there anything like Nigeria? In the Yoruba land,
Hello,
Yeah,
sorry,
but
sorry. Let,
not
let,
No, no,
let
no.
me
Let me
make
let me continue, please. I'm sorry. What's your name again? This other
Austin,
guy.
Austin.
Austin.
Austin. Yeah, Austin. You see, just when this guy allow me to answer him, you see, these people when they talk to us, Southerners, they come from an angle that we don't have sense because they actually believe that our idea of looking at politics is informed by Western education. And Western education attempts to have a rational perspective towards issue. For them, it is about region and religion. Whatever political decision they take or whatever political argument they involve has to be such that it eventually protects the region and the religion. And we Southerners don't know that. We always arm ourselves with this, well, I am not a tribal man, I am not a religious man, and whoever should be the best. They don't think like that. They might come to you to tell that that's how it was. In truth, that's not what they think. Now, when they say Kano has always been there, the question I will ask Mr. Hamza, which I know you are asking, where exactly is the region of the Fulani man in Nigeria? Where exactly? Because every
Nowhere.
tribe must have a place they originated from. Till today, if you go to Uroboland, you see that for many years the Urobos have been there and nobody has come to challenge that place with them. So where exactly did the Fulani originated from in Nigeria? So before Hamza comes to answer that question, we should begin to analyze the chances of the three candidates realistically in the forthcoming election. That was what we said we're going to discuss today. We forgot.
Yeah,
No,
yes.
apart from that, sorry, let me quickly say something. Until we ourselves, you see, this issue of Nigeria is almost the same issue almost everywhere in the world. A place where you have people in that country or in that nation, they have different tribes, tongues, and different religion. For they to be able to coexist peacefully, they need to come to the round table. That's why you see some countries talk about federalism, some talk on region. Because why? They want everybody to be able to have this sense of belonging, where it will not just be one person from one place trying to be lord over all. If you see, the only time Nigeria worked, where we didn't have this sense of religion, region, and all that, was before we started practicing this nonsense.
Nigeria has been like that right
What we
from
are
the
practicing now. No,
beginning.
it was not like that. If you see, when
What
we
do you
practice the
think
regional government,
exacerbated the civil war? What do you think
no, when
exacerbated
no,
the civil war?
No,
when we
let's not
practice the
let's
regional
not
government,
we didn't come to discuss civil war.
no, I'm
Let's
coming.
not.
When we practice the regional government, to be very honest, Nigeria was far better than what it is now. And what our
That's very
forefathers
true. Very,
discussed,
very true.
what our forefathers discussed to keep us together was it's not what we are doing to now. It was based on region, where everybody can take care of their resources. They pay some percentage to the federal level. But what we are doing now is one man from somewhere who contribute nothing to the national cover thinks that is the lord over Nigeria. It doesn't work, and that's why see the negative effect of it. It has made some section of the country to become so lazy. It has made even people do no longer see what they even call the major thing that they are raising for even their country. The resources, they don't longer use it for the people. Politicians now, if we
Sorry.
really, okay, sorry, if we really want to go to get a true solution, and the question I keep asking myself every day, all of us understand and they know the solution to Nigerian problem. Why is a region, a part of the country so scared for us to come to the table to discuss on how the country, on how this country will move forward? Because the law, what we have now is I call it court and lay constitution. We don't have a constitution because a constitution that put a section of people over others. That's not a law. A law is what makes what guides all of us where we should be equal before the law. But what we have now, we are calling a constitution. It's just a nonsense paperwork put together by a region of people that suit them more than even you and I in the South. You see this mentality some of them have from the North. It's the truth.
You
Today in
asked
your
a
state,
question.
sir,
You asked a question. You said, why is a section of the country afraid for things to
yes, why are
work
they
well?
afraid? They are
Now, I'll
afraid.
tell
They are
you why.
just afraid.
I will tell you why they're afraid. Look, let me tell you. In Meduguri, those who have money are not those doing legitimate jobs. They are smugglers. They are people who do corruption. People, if you go to their state secretariat, you just find people lying down on. They'll just put a big mat under one big tree, and everybody's just lying down, gisting, waiting for Monday to collect salary. I'm telling you the truth. Katsina State, I don't know how it is now, but the last about 7 or 8 years when I was in Katsina, there are no taxis. You don't get a taxi to move around. It's motorbikes to move around. No taxi. Say taxi. I'm going. No. And such a state qualified to be called a state, all in the name of just giving people. Because to be very candid, when they talk about you must not generate revenue only when you have assets. If you say you have population alone, and this population are active, you are selling kola nut and you pay tax, just as Port Harcourt is paying VAT. Until Wike came and said, okay, VAT is a tax generated by the state. Why should I take what I generate for the state to federal? You get me? So the truth is that they cannot change the constitution because it favors laziness. I'm telling you the truth. This is a story I've said on my video severally. I graduated with the best result in Adamawa State in Numa local government, 1980, very mid-80s, I think, with the best result. I had to write the first jam. Not that I failed, my score was not enough. 214, 216, till I got 234. I got admission in University of Maiduguri. So I ran into one of my classmates and I was asking, where did he register GST 104? He said, I know that he's in year 3. And this was a guy who didn't have as good as the credit I have when I graduated, but was already 2 years ahead of me. Why? Because the system says that he's from a less educationally developed state. So in other words, the North now finds a way to merchandise laziness, to merchandise illiteracy, to merchandise. For 60 years, a group of people say they cannot match up, they cannot improve their educational structure. For 50 years, they cannot improve their ability to produce. For 60 years, they cannot improve their ability. You find even if they produce whole cutlasses, selling granules, and they say it's contentment. And when you tell them, you say you are insulting their culture. There is this concept, I've said it in many programs, they say, Allah Kabamu, God should give you so that you give to me. You see, these people here, they practice feudalism. And the constitution we are operating today perfectly suits a feudalistic government. This constitution, this 1999 constitution, perfectly suits perfectly suits feudalism. Because a feudalism is a government of the elite that controls the proletariat. That's it. And here they will have a name for the proletariat. The English, you say bourgeois. Then the poor one, you call them proletariat, right? In the Hausa, there's a language for them. They call the lower masses talakawa. Then the people at the top, maikata, that's the rich and the poor. And then the poor look up to the rich for you go to somebody's house in the morning, a group of people will troop into his gate, waiting for him to come out and give them handouts, and they'll pray all the prayers in the world for him. Such a thing cannot happen in the South, where people just go and troop one rich man's gate, hoping for him to throw handouts. Instead, they will ask for borehole from him, or employ youths, or create factories so that you can employ people. We don't go in the morning waiting for handouts from people, but they protect it. When Goodluck came, he tried to flush out Almajiri system. I laughed. I said, "This man don't go touch. He has gone to touch one very central mechanism of the North." Did not like this Almajiri system because it served many purposes in the guise that these children are learning the doctrines of Islam. But that's not true. Yes, they learn the Quran, but at the same time, this is a data store, or a storehouse where you pick soldiers from, you pick voting from. These are people, if you tell them like this, that's where they will go. One track. They don't have mind of their own. If you have a mind of your own above the crowd, you might pay dearly, maybe with your life. So this is a system that we need to stop. If we are not compatible, if we can't share the same ideology, at least at a meeting point where, okay, you want to practice Islam, I want to practice Christianity. Somewhere at the middle, we can meet somewhere. So that you practice your Islam, I practice my Christianity. But this one said, no, we must bomb out all the churches in Nigeria so that only Sharia exists. So such a system cannot work. And this is why we must need to sit and talk. If at all we can live together. If we can't live together, there's no point in saying that Nigeria is non-negotiable. Who told you that Nigeria is non-negotiable? Who said so? We can't continue to say Nigeria is non-negotiable, whereas those who get the short end of the stick are the very those feeding Nigeria. You keep killing us, you keep bombing our churches, and our crime is because we chose a certain faith that is different from yours. Our crime is that we have refused to imbibe a culture of feudalism. We have a mind of our own. No election has worked well in fairness in this country because certain people will not want to play by the book, and they will be the one to tell you must play by the book. I'll give you an example. When Kano brought their results in the last Warriors, they brought a humongous figure. All was calm. When Port Harcourt brought down, they said, "I lie. We will go investigate Port Harcourt own." Oh, the North can bring any figure they want, but the South cannot bring any figure they want. All these narratives must change, and that is because this system says that, well, you can kill a returning officer. The side that is talking. Do you know that the returning officer for INEC was killed and burned alive? Him and his family. Nothing happened. No court, this thing, everything, and yet the result for that Kano State was declared and accepted as a result to declare president to power, because the man saw that the humongous corruption was too much, and the silenced him. We cannot give too much power to a certain region whereby they believe they can do whatever they want to do and get away with it. That is why we must stop Atiku from becoming president. We cannot give this impression that for a southerner to become president, it has to be on the volition of the northerners. That's the northerners agreed before Obasanjo became power. Divine intervention came before Goodluck Jonathan became power. And when the northerners applied first to remove Jonathan by giving a dog a bad name in order to hang it. So we must stop. And the only way we can stop this narrative is if we start working together. The Edo man, the Yoruba man, the Igbo man, the Yoruba man, particularly the Yorubas and the Igbos, should find a way to come together. This is what is giving these people the audacity to come among us and be telling us rubbish.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them. See, it is impossible. So sorry. It is impossible for us to live together like this. No nation in the world, no nation
can survive like this. No.
Because see, let's be very, even in America, the president does not have so much power like the way the Nigerian president has so much power. The governors still have powers in their states. They do a lot of things and fix a lot of things there. That's where they practice true federalism. They control their resources there. But in Nigeria, it is one man from somewhere. That's why you see where the president can begin to. Some people want to become governor in a state or whatever. They will be going to one other state to go and see the concept of one man.
Can you imagine?
It's not part of that state. It's not annoying.
It's annoing. After let's begin to announce the chance of this. My battery is going down.
Mr. Raka,
yeah.
Mr. Hansa left a comment for you. I'm going to read for you right now. Oh my God, there's a flow here. People are leaving too much. Okay, let me see this here. Okay, he said, Mr. Raka, why not go back to your state and start election? Then you can present yourself so that you can go to National Assembly. So it's advising you to go to your state.
There are many ways you can contribute into Nigeria. You must not lead to contribute. You must not lead to contribute a part of development. This is where God has blessed me to talk and analyze and shape the consciousness of people. save people from the wrong narrative, save people from the defeatist narrative that the North have sold to them. I've spent over 55 years in North so that I can tell my people what I've learned from the North. So what I'm doing proudly, and I'm very, very happy I'm doing what I'm doing. At least the narrative that you have more population than the South is a lie. The narrative that you have more landmass than the South is a lie. The narrative that if you come to every election you must win is a lie. We are stronger. We are only weaker because we are not united. And now that we are united, why are you scared? Why are you sending videos to me that the pastor who is urging his people to go and register is frustrated? We don't need to bring young, small boys to vote. We don't need to bring people from
when they use
and
Ghana
to
boys and people from Niger to vote. So it hasn't sent that video.
We always have the population. The reason why you don't think this population comes because a lot of us don't take elections seriously. We just believe that anybody go rule, Islamic country they go. But now we've given the North that opportunity for too long, and they've abused it. Now the South wants to realize. I love the awareness that is going on. I love the consciousness that is going on. Now the South is aware that we must take this election seriously. So why are you scared? Because the lie you have fed the South for over the years is beginning to dawn on you that sell again. Everything has a life span. The lie that you have more population is dying because why is INEC suddenly hoarding PVC cards from Southerners, hoarding machines? Because the kind of awareness now we now have is causing a scare. I thought instead of all this idea of depriving people from getting PVCs, I thought the same crowd that we are seeing in the South will be replicated in the North. So where is the crowd from the North that should replicate the crowd we are seeing in the South? Because the idea of this population you have been selling has been a long-term lie that is slapping you back on your face. There's no population in the North.
No, I would have asked to ask Mr. Hansi one question. How will he feel if an Igbo man,
hands over to an Igbo man?
You understand? Or somebody from the South go to the North to go and be creating
Mr. Hansa, one thing you guys don't understand about Mr. Hansa is different. He is supporting Tinubu, not Atiku Abubakar.
No, I'm not even talking about. I'm not even talking about only Atiku Abubakar.
It's not supporting Atiku at all.
See, he's supporting Tinubu. There's a reason why he's supporting Tinubu. He's not supporting Tinubu because he's supporting Tinubu because what we hope for Buhari when he had Osibanjo is the same thing they're hoping. They know that Tinubu cannot withstand the pressure of governance. They know very well that he will only rule for a small time and hand over to a northerner. It's not because at the end of the day, look, you'll be shocked that Kano will vote massively for Peter Obi. Massively. Forget what he's telling you. It's just a smoke screen. From the beginning that Hansa came to this show, he has shown his deep-rooted hatred for the Igbos. I don't like what the Igbos are doing in terms of their IPOB and Biafra, but I've never claimed I hate them.
Sir,
you get me? I know that it's just a group of people. So
whatever they are doing in the IPOB and all that, let's be very, very honest. Even your wife you have at home, when you must maltreat her for too long, no matter how quiet or how submissive she is, you expect her to revolt. Whatever thing we are seeing, even this election, what is playing out? For the very first time, it's supposed to be the return of the Southeast to produce the president in Nigeria. Yeah. For the very first time. And yet, the same people that have not produced even the vice president, nor the Senate president, you don't allow them to
I'm going to join with another phone so that you can bring me on. You will see another request with another phone. You join me.
They've not allowed them to join since to even do anything. Now is their turn. They still had the way to burn it from them. And these people have said they are tired, they want to go on their own. We are still saying they can't go. We don't want to give them their rightful position in the country.
Give them political opportunity in the country.
It's simple. It's simple. Because see, where there is no equity, where there is no fairness, no oneness, you expect the people to feel, when they now feel that they are marginalized, that people do not call them as part of the country. And you say, I'm not part of the country. Now you don't also want us to go to also form our own, to do something to value our people. It's funny. See, one thing, that what his name again? The man is saying we should leave this tribe and religion stuff and put it aside. For what? For one, for the love of Nigeria. If truly every one of us is sincere among, whether if you say we really want to talk about equity, want to really talk about sincerity, it is the turn of the South. And when the Southeast. If we let's talk about credibility and match these three candidates together, the worst of Peter Obi is better than the best of any politician you present from the two political parties. Is better than all of them. Is better than all of them put together. They are credible people among in the north, even among the Fulanis. It was among the Fulanis that we got Umaru Musa Yar'Adua from. And today, most Nigerians are still crying because one of the best presidents in the history of Nigeria did not really take time, did not really stay for too long before he died. But if Umaru Musa Yar'Adua has stayed at least 7-8 years with the way it started, Nigeria would have been better than what it is today. Because why? This is a man that don't believe in the country. But whether we like it or not, Atiku Abubakar and Tinubu, they are not supposed to be people we're supposed to be talking about with the way Nigeria is very fragile. Do you know that the countries we are talking about, that the country is broke? The country is broke. We want to also bring in another two people who are, when you are talking about corruption, they are the true definition of corruption. You have Buhari spending over many days in the US, traveling from between Nigeria and UK all the time for medical treatment. We want to still bring in another different person again who will also continue from there. First of all, that thing done by Buhari, that's the height of insults on the people. You cannot tell me that you are allocating money for healthcare every year, and you, the president, number one citizen of the country, who is a public servant. That's what we don't know. The president is a servant of the people, not a god to the people. He is supposed to create this healthcare, these hospitals, where he's supposed to use. If the president and the ministers cannot use our hospitals, that's to tell you that whatever thing that they are doing is nonsense, because they don't believe in the system. Because if the president cannot, how will you see? You think the prime minister of UK will come now to come and say he's going for a medical trip in America, Canada, or anywhere, and you think he will come back to that country and the people will clap for him and he will still be there the following morning, say he's still the prime minister? It's not done. Joe Biden, head, just the school shooting that went last week. I think last week or last 2 weeks in America. He was not in the country. Immediately he was on a trip. He went back immediately. He left whatever he was doing, returned back to the country, and he addressed the people. Even where he was, they started doing, even trying to calm people down, trying to do things to unite people. Since what happened last Sunday happened in Nigeria, what have you heard from the president of Nigeria? And this is not even the first time it's happening. Since this thing has been going on, what have you heard from the president? And these same people that brought the same president to power think that we've all forgotten. Even Tinubu, with the role he played in the NSAS stuff in 2020, think that we, the Nigerian youth, has forgotten. Sometimes people who don't have value for human life are people who also want to vote into power. This thing is not about Peter Obi or Labour Party or about any other person. This is about two political parties who do not care. The political elites among the two political parties, because they don't have leaders, they don't have the interest of Nigeria at heart. Whether you are a Fulani man, whether you are Hausa man, whether you are an Igbo man, whether you are a Yoruba man, whether you are an Edo man, whatever where you are from the country, the political elites among the two leading political parties do not care about us. They don't care. They don't care about us. Because whatever happened in Nigeria now, a lot of children be out of school, also have been on strike. People die every day from even as little as common malaria. Some die from a little of what they would have known to treat with common 20,000 naira. They don't have the money. No free health care. Even the people that paid for the healthcare system, they don't even have a better one. That you see some things people die from in Nigeria. A lot of women even die through when they want to give birth because no facilities in the hospital, no nothing. Then we'll sit down, we'll fold our hands, and we'll begin to clap and say, I'm voting for Atiku, voting for Buhari. I ask every day, what is the difference between Atiku, Tinubu, and Buhari? And these people that have put us into this mess. PDP ruled for 16 years, nothing came out of them, created a lot of debt. APC came in just less than 8 years, and we are even the mess that they created is more than even what PDP put down for even 16 years. That now this one does not even have value for life, and we are still debating PDP and APC. We as this time, is it that we don't think, and that's why these politicians do not take us serious. You understand? That's why they don't take us serious. They know that whatever thing they present before us, we will always accept whatever thing they present before us. And that's why Atiku and Tinubu were together yesterday to bring in Buhari. Why do you think that they are not? What makes you think that they are not still together till date? Is it because
You
they are
know
not
what?
political party?
The system, Austin, the system gives power to these political parties to produce candidates. And whatever candidate they produce, they're going to impose them on us. We have no choice anymore. Either you choose one out of the two bad, candidates that they produced. So that is the thing. Not until the masses have the right to produce candidates for political parties. Otherwise, these two major political parties in Nigeria will continue to impose what Nigerians, the majority, deem as worst politicians in the country. So that is the thing. Whatever politician they believe that satisfy their own self-interest, not the interest of the masses. You understand? Like what happened now during the primaries, PDP and APC, they use money to buy delegates.
Do
You
you know
understand what
why
I
they
mean?
do it? Do you know why they do it? They don't do it because of themselves. They do
That
it
Batman.
because
Obaro,
they do it.
come and
They
on
do
your
it
lights.
because they do it because we don't think. Because we will always accept whatever they give to us. See, when people come and give you garbage, give you leftover from what is supposed to be yours, and you accept it and you don't reject, you don't say anything, do you know they are still going to keep feeding you with the nonsense? You understand? But when
Yeah.
they come, they bring some things to you, and you are bold enough to say to their face, I deserve better than this. Do you know that these people will go back later to they'll begin to do a lot of things because they know that people are now aware. They know what rightfully belongs to them. The problem in Nigeria is that a lot of us do not know what's supposed to be our rights and what's supposed to be a privilege. We see privilege, we see our right as a privilege, and when we see privilege as a right, it is our right to demand from good government from this people, for them to give us good government, good representation. But when these two political parties represent these two 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 people that are not supposed to be there, what are we supposed to do? We go for another person.
Another
If we
person.
vote them out of power, when they now see that the people are not talking about credible candidates, you see that from the next election, they will no longer be them presenting people who are not, because a society, we the people are the problem, not the politicians. I said something before. A society and the people that do not reward integrity, accountability, and people living well will always end up rewarding criminals, having more criminals, having more and more criminals in the society. Because we as a
Let me give
people,
you let
who
me
do we
give
reward our vote with? We always
you
reward criminals with our vote until we begin to reward people with integrity with our vote. You will see a lot of
yes.
this nonsense that APC and PDP are doing will not stop.
Yes, and let me give you one example of what you just said now. Like the last Edo State election, that citizens, the masses, they went to the poll to vote their conscience. And there were instances whereby APC try to pay them money, but some of them collected the money and still vote PDP. Not only voting, some of the masses, they voted and stood by their vote and made sure that they defended the ballot boxes on that day. You saw youth, the youth who were arresting people by themselves, that were, you didn't know.
Good persons that have joined either of these political parties, when they join, at the end of the day, some of them, when they saw some things within the party, and they be able to understand that the people themselves are the problem, not even majorly the political.
So me, I want to make a closing statement. Then I walk away because I'm
coming. Just a minute, because the truth, when they got to a position, you see how the people begin to tell them, it's not my position to take what you want to take home. And if you go to any position and you did not steal, you did not take anything, you see how some of these people among your community will begin to call you, say, na mumu, when you be commissioner, when you be local government chairman, what if you do for anybody? What if you steal? What if you do this? And when they now see that the people that they are trying to do a lot of these things for, do not even know that whatever thing they are trying to do is for them. That's why a lot of them today are not, is even the height of abuse for some individuals, either within the state or within the nation, to just think that they can pick governors for me and you, pick presidents, pick ministers, and pick this for me and you. That me and you are not even, you and I, we are not even part of even people that can even come to nominate people that will even represent us. But whereas in a sane society, nomination starts from even their community, what level. But yeah, ours is different. One political leader can just come. This person is loyal to me. Not the person is loyal to the community or loyal to the state. He's loyal to me. Let this person go there to go and to become the governor. So it becomes a case of who you place the piper, dictates the tune.
Yeah.
I will keep saying this. A society and a people that does not reward integrity, reward people that live well, we always have more criminals. We always have more hoodlums in that society.
So we are getting to the end of today's program. Mr. Araka, do you have any closing statements?
So I actually came back to do the analysis of the chances of the three political aspirants, their chances. Realistically, their chances. Now, once again, like many other elections that we'll be having in this country, the power to actually decide where power goes is in the hand of the Yoruba people. Once again, because every time we have an election in this country, the Southwest, anywhere the Southwest put its bulk, that's where presidency goes. So
because they have the population.
Yeah, but in Nigeria, and this is a message to all Yoruba people, the power that God has dropped in the Yoruba man's hand, we have always used it without wisdom. We have not used it without wisdom. It was the Yoruba vote that brought Buhari in, because they actually believed that Buhari was not going to last long, and then their son Osibanjo was going to go back. Now the dynamics have changed. We should stop the very evil that has crippled our democracy, which is tribe and religion. The North will always play religious politics. You cannot separate them from it. We in the southern part, we always play ethnic politics. The religious politics in the North have always benefited the North. We've played ethnic politics for many years. It has never benefited us. When they were doing the PDP primaries, people stepped down for their own brother. How many Southerners stepped down for their brother? None. Everybody stayed put, knowing that the vote that you are going to carry is going to spoil the chance of your own brother. But you still stay put all along. The same thing happened in APC. When the Norths were stepping down for their brother, the Southerners who even chose to step down still stepped down for another person. So the Yorubas have ruled for 8 years and have tasted vice presidency for 8 years. That should count for something. That should really, really count for something. You see, if we can stop this, selfishness, that's regional selfishness. Some people don't mind if they keep ruling and ruling and ruling. They'll tell you that it's democracy. Majority carries the day. No. I think it's time we began to employ the principle of fairness and equity in Nigeria. And in that light, to be very, very frank, we should give it to the Southeast. But if I am forced to actually analyze their chances, the Yorubas and the Southwest and the Southeast and South will just split their vote to pave way for Atiku. Because that's what is trending. I know from the way things are going that if this Peter Obi tsunami or this Labour Party tsunami graduates the way it's graduating, it means that the Southeast and South will vote in one direction. The Southwest will also vote in one direction, crippling every vote that we have in the South. The Northwest, on the other hand, sometimes are afraid because the South, they will always tell me that the South are not decided, they are not united. So, and they don't want to pitch tent with people that will betray them. And then eventually their votes are nothing. So the North will eventually vote, the North Central, sorry, the North Central may likely vote for Atiku too. So if you look at it from this angle, it's going to go to Atiku. But if the Yorubas now put this sentiment, because if you stay strong that it is Yoruba turn, the Igbos stay strong that it is the Igbos turn, the Southwest believe that it is the Southwest turn. Our collective selfish desire on the part of our political proclivities based on ethnicity will only create way and continue to fuel this northern persistency in our political life. So my plea is to the Yoruba people that please, why fight each other politically when at the end of the day both of us will lose? Why? There's really no use. One person must give way to the other. Either Peter Obi steps down and support Tinubu, or Tinubu follows steps down. And this is the strategy, political strategy that the North have continuously used to trick us, stepping down. We don't believe in stepping down. If I don't get it, let nobody get it. That is evil. If I can't get it, nobody will get it. But the northern man will think of his region than himself. Tambua was there. He felt if he stays in that election, Atiku will lose. Instead, let me step down and ask my delegate to vote for Atiku. And Atiku won eventually. Because they know that the way Wike was coming up, the chances were slim. So we are always selfish. We're always self-centered. It's about me, or our people. So my plea is to the Southwest. Honestly, if you are true to yourself, if it's mango fruits we are sharing, you have had one, me have not had, and you say want to have the second one, of course there will be discord. The South region, let's leave this Southeast, Southwest. These are the mechanisms that the caliphate have used to divide us. Let's think of South. I am a Southerner before I'm a South. I'm just somebody from the southern part of the South. The Igbo man is from the eastern part of the South, and the Yoruba man is from the western part of the South. At the end of the day, we have a common denominator that unifies us, which is South. And every well-meaning Southerner should first think of that region first, because before you know that thing, no northern at all say northeast, north central. They think of north every time. North. Why can't we say south? For now, the North will rule us again if and only if the Yoruba man stays put, which I know they will do. Tinubu doesn't look like one who will say, okay, let's support the Igbos. Peter Obi doesn't look like one who will say, okay, let's support the Yorubas. So, but for purpose of equity and fairness, if they are my two sons and they are quarreling and they come to me and say, okay, let me settle them. Equity and fairness, say, okay, okay, but you've tasted this thing before. It doesn't matter whether it's from a son that you didn't like, but you've tested it. You not only test it again, you have also tested a second position. So you've been first and you've been second. This is why I've not tested first, they have not tested second. Allow them to have it. Allow them to have it. Do you know that for the last three weeks or 2 weeks or thereabout now, we'll stop hearing about Biafra, because there's hope that some form of equity in Peter Obi is going to appear. So it shows that this Nigeria we are talking doesn't really need to divide. The quarrel we are having doesn't really need to be there. It's simply because there's this feeling of marginalization, feeling of cheating, feeling of being suppressed. If truly in 2 weeks we cannot hear of people's penises being chopped,
Mr.
or people's
Raka,
head being
there's a comment
beheaded.
from Mr. Raka, there's a comment
Eh?
from Mr. Hansa for you. Mr. Hansa left a comment for you. He said for Mr. Raka to school and live in the north, everything he has is from north. And his frustration is not. This is the typical of a Southerner who hates those that help him.
That's nothing. That's very inconsequential to the problem. The problem we're talking about the presidency of the North. It's not about. I schooled in the North. You get me, and I struggled for everything I have. When I came to the North, I ensured that I was not a nuisance to the people who.
He said Obi. We need to listen to him. He said Obi represents Biafra. So, which means Obi.
Let's not see for even reading that out there. I fault you. Please leave. For you to even read. Don't bring the Peter Obi. This should be dissociated from Biafra. Yes. Should be dissociated from Igbo. These people, they play with you and you just fall for that. You should have mentioned this Peter Obi. Don't associate Peter Obi and Biafra. I'm not supporting him because Biafra. If Peter Obi mentioned Biafra one day or say he's son of Igbo, I'll be the first to start campaigning against him. What is selling Peter Obi now is hope that he's going to change, that Peter Obi will change this nonsense. And for me, being a northerner, as I came to the North, I have not constituted myself as a nuisance. I have not gone to the church, mosque, blowing myself up and to blow people who pray in the mosque up. I've obeyed the laws of the land. I've carried myself as a law-abiding citizen. But when people come to my place and they occupy our bush, and they occupy our bushes, bush, where do they stay? Are you an animal? Only animal stays in the bush. You not only stay in the bush, you find time to come and feed yourself in our bush where helicopters drop food for you, and then you come into town and cause nuisances for us. Anyway, like I said, we are talking about the presidency. We want somebody who can actually change this country for us. I want the good life. Nepal wants the good life. I keep forgetting this man's name again.
Austin.
Everybody wants the good life. We cannot have the good life when we have people who still sustain themselves in the doldrum of myopic thinking, like Buhari, who believes that his agenda is to sustain and reposition the Fulani people in power. That's why Mr. Hamza is happy today, because you are here in his show when he said Buhari has performed over 90%. When he said so, you didn't understand him. He wasn't talking that Buhari has performed 90% as the president. He said Buhari has performed 90% on the basis of the agenda he was made to be a president. And that agenda was to reposition the supremacy of the Fulanis and to make Fulanis become more powerful. That was what he was telling, but you didn't understand it. So to every Fulani man, Buhari has performed wonderfully well. But you don't understand, because in your rationality of life, life must be favorable, life must be sweet, life must be equitable, life must be just, life must be, you want the good life. They don't care about the good life. They have the good, the proletariats, the talakawas, who believe that they are born to suffer. They are born to be ruled. They are born to not to be rich. They don't have the right to aspire to become governor or presidency.
But Mr. Raka, that's why I was saying the other day, it is time for us to sample opinions from the North, because Mr. Hamza alone cannot represent all the Northerners.
I will bring somebody from the Middle Belt. I told you on Monday, I will bring somebody from the Middle Belt. But I will bring somebody from the Middle Belt. So I will hear from the Middle Belt too. What is their perspective of this politics? So I hear from the Middle Belt, because Mr. Hamza is just representing a sample from the core North. Let's also, I will bring somebody to who sample from the Middle Belt. Let's have a taste of what the Middle Belt think. So I'm just telling you that Mr. Hamza is always concentrated on me, because he knows very well, I understand the dynamics of the political permutations of the North. And I will not be afraid not to say what I'm saying. I love the Fulani people. I've met very beautiful Fulani people. I've gone to a relaxation job with Fulani people. I've seen people that we gist, and they are very rational in their thinking. But when we have a group of people who believe in this strong position that it is, Mr. Hamza has told me that the Fulanis are my elder brothers, blatantly to my face. He said they are our elder brothers. And the last time he came here and he described us with a sweep of the finger and a wave of the hand that we are minorities. So when you have the people armed with this type of retrogressive thoughts that a certain people are minorities, we are not supposed to be minorities. There's the idea of describing any people as minorities doesn't count. We want, and the brain for Nigeria can come from anywhere. It can come from the Jaws, it can come from the Lantan people, it can come. There are so many tribes. These three major tribes have made it difficult for Nigerians to realize that there are over 370 tribes, even when you take the three tribes out. So the fact that we have revolved Nigerians' issues to revolve around these three people, and because of their quest for power, their quest, the rest of us are like harems. We are just for there. Whoever fights to win the battle comes to focus behind. Sorry for being profane. So we are like harems. And we agree say we'll be harem. We agree say now we be the, but we have a right to choose who should come and focus. And we are saying Peter Obi is the best person to come and rule us. So it is so annoying. I'm speaking like this because when I'm angry, I don't have control. So I'm sorry for using a profane word, but this is the truth. Mr. Hamza is only looking out for the interest of Nigeria for the Fulanis, not for the interest of Nigeria. He will come here and we will use statements that we are being tribalistic when he's one that is tribalistic. He will say we are nepotistic when he's one that is actually nepotistic. He will say we are biased. His hatred for Peter Obi is not because Peter Obi is incompetent. His hatred for Peter Obi is simply because Peter Obi is Igbo, and that's all.
Yes, yeah, he has
His hatred for
He said it.
His hatred for Peter Obi is simply because he's Igbo. It's not because Peter Obi is not incompetent. Nobody will listen to Peter Obi and describe Peter Obi as a Fulani man cannot imagine an Igbo man ruling him. I can tell you, if for any reason Peter Obi wins this election in a free and fair election, there will be crisis in wherever Fulanis are. I'm bold to say it. Because it's like they sworn that over their dead body that Igbo man will rule them. And that's what Mr. Hamza is doing here. Let me tell you the truth. If you see the northern and the northern being agitated by activities in the south, it means they are doing something very correctly. Now that people are getting their PVC, they are the ones trying to now demand. If Peter Obi was not insignificant, why are you bothering yourself demarketing him?
It's funny.
If Peter Obi is that insignificant, why are you bothering yourself? Allow him to waste his time. You say he has no structure. He said the people who are suffering are his structure, and I believe him. He said he will not win. He said no problem. He said we are going to waste our vote. No problem. We are ready to waste our votes. So I feel so bad. I feel so bad that we have spent over 100 years as Nigerians, and yet the North have refused to imbibe a culture of oneness with us. You can do your Islam, I do my Christianity, but let's be Nigerians. Not only when Super Eagles are playing, then we all shoot our hands in the sky and say, up Nigeria, goal. But every time you continuously to show hatred, you continuously to show bias. You say, I schooled in the North. The part of the North I'm schooling is a part that embraces Christianity. In this Jos, since you decided to bring that side up, in this Jos, I dare not go to where Muslims are. If I stay there till 8 o'clock, then it's at my own risk. Jos today is divided into Christian session and Muslim session. So the reason why I'm in the North here, because I always stay where Christians are. I cannot have the privilege of staying where Muslims are. So you brought this issue up, that's why I'm bringing it up, because otherwise I don't want to go. I vowed I wouldn't go into this. So Nigeria is porous. Nigeria is parallel. We are divided along primordial sentiments, ethnicity, and religion. We need to do away with this thing. And the people who are mostly guilty of religious divide are the Northerners. And the people who are mostly guilty of the ethnic divide are the Southerners. So these two hydra-headed monster that we both shared, the South takes the ethnic monster and the North take the religious monster. At the end of the day, this is what is killing Nigeria. We don't have any other space. All we have is Nigeria. And Nigeria is workable. We just need people to throw away their ethnic proclivity or their ethnic bias or their religious bias and put it together so that we can actually have a country that works. And now we have somebody who says he's not desperate to be Nigeria. He just is, but he's he said he's not desperate to be the president, but he's desperate to see Nigeria works. Let's give him the chance so that he makes Nigeria work. Or don't you want Nigeria to work, Mr. Hamza? Aren't you tired of money bags playing and
like Mr. Raka, Mr. Hansa, according to his statement the first day I brought him to this program, that the Northerners don't really believe on Western education. And Nigeria as a country was created based on Westernization. They introduced this democracy of the West to
If
Nigeria.
Mr.
So
Hamza actually said that, if Mr. Hamza actually said that, then you can understand why. Because Boko Haram, in its true sense, means Western education is a taboo. So if Mr. Hamza said that, then you cannot see the reason why Boko Haram has refused to disappear. Because they are backing them, they are sponsoring them. They will come and tell you that they are, but in true sense, there are people who actually love what they are doing. And this thing must stop. You cannot be killing me. You come to my place, you take over my oil well. You come to my place, you take over my wealth. No. You do nothing. At the end of the year, my wealth comes with me, and you kill me, and then you are telling me that Nigeria is indivisible. Who told you that Nigeria is indivisible? Let me tell you, the outcome of 2023 is very significant. If this country must be one, then we must choose it right. Otherwise, I leave it there.
Austin, before we end the program, Mr. Raka, thank you so much for your analysis. Austin, do you have any closing statement?
The truth, so say, just like this statement, he said they do not believe in Western education. Why? If not, see, do you know why I don't really blame was Mr. Ansan? One thing I've come to really understand about life, people act according to their level of exposure and their level of education. That's why if you look at the North to today, the political ethnic in the North do not want the people of the North to be educated. Not just only the North. That's why also even the government of Nigeria today, they have tried to do everything to bastardize our educational system so that people will not be educated, to be able to know their duty. First, if a lot of them can really settle down and think, how can the people that tell you that they don't believe in Western education tell me one Northern leader today that the children are not schooling abroad? Just tell me one. Whether as a governor, whether as a minister, whether as a former ministry head of state, or whether as a president, whether past or present, one top Northern politician, whether as a senator, as a rep member, that the children are not schooling abroad. Tell me one. The same people that children are schooling abroad, they are the one telling them that Western education is not good, so that they can manipulate the mind of these people, so that they can be able to use them to do whatever thing that they want to do. That's why you are seeing a lot of them there can be used to do whatever thing that they do. You understand? You can't come in the South. You can't tell me now, the way I am now, to come and go and kill somebody for you when you have your own children schooling abroad. When I went to school, you understand? But in the North, it's not like that. We have more children out of school in the North. The high level of poverty is in the North. And when somebody is hungry, people can do anything for money when they are hungry. Let's say a hungry man is an angry man. So just for them to eat, whatever you tell them to do, that's why they can see. There are Muslims all over the world. In America, in the United Kingdom, in Canada, everywhere there are Muslims. Have you asked yourself why the Nigerian Muslim, they are the only one that do things that they do like this? You understand? Because of their level of education. I have a lot of Muslim friends. I know how we interact, how we flow. We do things together. I have some of them as colleagues. We talk, and they are so enlightened. They talk differently. Some of them are even very angry about the nonsense going on in Nigeria. Look at the people today that are siding the nonsense, and you look at them. It's either they are benefiting from it because of the money federal government, because money the government is pumping into it. They are directly or indirectly involved and benefiting from it, not because it is right. That's why some of them are also scared about we talking about the regional government or doing through federalism or telling state government to take charge of the security architecture in the country. They are scared because they know when state government begin to take care of protecting their states, a lot of this nonsense we are talking about now will not be, cannot happen. It's the height of, it's even the height of insult for somebody to leave one region, go to another region, a state you are not from, occupy the bush, rape the women, and kill the people. And yet nobody is being arrested. Some of them will even come, take responsibility for the killing, and nothing is being done. You understand? Because these people are not educated. These things are wrong. It is totally the plan of the political elites in the North to try to make these people not to go to school, for them to be exposed, so that they can keep using them as they keep making them as a political tool to perpetuate evil on the land. When you expose these people and they go to school and they take the other part of life, you will see a lot of them will no longer be doing these things that they are doing. They will no longer be doing. The difference between
But the insecurity in Nigeria is hitting the north more than the south.
is
We are
eating the
here.
north
Yes, it's
because the
hitting them more
government
than the
are
south. I
benefiting
don't
from
understand.
it. Because the government are the one benefiting from
So they are
it.
benefiting from killing their own people. What's
That's
that?
it. See,
Lord have mercy.
see, politicians, I've said it before, they only care about election and the next election. They don't care about the lives of the people. You understand? What they care about is just election. What to do the next election to make money. And they don't not about the people. So that's why we are seeing a lot of these things that we are seeing today. That's why we are seeing a lot of, because their children, a lot of these politicians, a lot of them are citizens of another country. If anything happen tomorrow, they can just enter the plane and move out of Nigeria. Their children are schooling abroad. You
Ah,
understand me? Their children are not even in the country. The health, the hospital and everything that they build, the children do not use it. So that's the reason we are seeing these things that we are seeing.
Austin, look, we have to end this program because we have been here for more than 2 hours now. So we have to end it and come back next time, maybe on Wednesday, Monday or Wednesday, tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm not sure if I'm able to get anyone to join the program tomorrow because it's a working day. Probably people will be at work, and I don't know yet. Maybe tomorrow evening I will bring somebody. Otherwise, it will be on Wednesday. Austin, thank you so much for joining the program today.
Thank you very
So
much. I just pray we leave this sentiment of about region, tribe, religion, and all that. Let's begin to talk about credibility. Somebody who can work to save Nigeria, to end this bombing, move us from a consuming nation to at least to a nation who can produce something that will be tied to our name. That when they call Nigeria, they can talk of one thing that we produce, not the Nigerian that we are seeing now. Because this thing, whether Mr. Hassan like it or not, if he travels out of Nigeria to today, Nigerian passport is nothing, it's not respected. Because why? Because of the way our country, because of the way we are now. But if we have somebody that comes in tomorrow, build the economy of a nation, and things are stable, if me and you say we want to go anywhere, we are not supposed to even be looking for visa to go to anywhere. But because of the situation of things, if we want to go anywhere, even if we pay for visa, for them to even give us the visa, they are scared. So whatever thing is going on in Nigeria now that is not going on well, is affecting me and also affecting Mr. Hassan. He needs to understand that. Because no other country in the world do they respect us. The way you see other countries talk to us, you will know that they don't have any value or any respect for us. Because why? Because of the way our country is in the present at the moment. Because the government of the nation do not even value the lives of the people. So when the leaders of the nation do not value the lives of their people, how do you expect leaders of other nations to not value us? An American can go anywhere today. You try, even when he's wrong, you want to do him anything, he will boldly tell you, do you know I'm an American? And everybody will adjust. Because if you try to do anything, the government can send anybody there to go and pick him. But in Nigeria, that is our country, they kill our people at will. Our people die every day by our own people. Our own people are the one also doing this thing. And the government sit down and do nothing. Sit and do nothing. We are at war against ourselves. And the earlier we stop this is for us to know that we are one and begin to think about the betterment. It's not about whether Igbo, Yoruba, or Hausa, but think about the betterment of the nation,
first,
the better
yeah,
for us.
exactly. We have to gather that umbrella of oneness of Nigeria. Thank you, Austin. Thank you so much, and
Thank you
we'll come
very
back
much.
again maybe tomorrow or Wednesday will be the next political discussion on Nebo TV. Thank you all for watching. If today is your first time of visiting our channel, please consider subscribing and follow our political discussion on Nebo TV. Thank you all and have a wonderful weekend.